I told my husband to stop grabbing me every time I walked by. Just once, I asked to be treated like a person instead of a fantasy. That was 6 months ago. Since then, he hasn't kissed me, touched me, or even looked at me like he used to. And now he says he's leaving. Because I ruined how he loved me. I'm Destiny. I'm 29, and my entire marriage just exploded because apparently asking for basic human decency makes me some kind of monster. My husband, Robert, is 31, and we've been married 3 years, together for 7 total. I genuinely thought we had this amazing relationship until 6 months ago when everything went completely sideways. Let me start from the beginning so you understand what I'm dealing with here. Robert works for some shipping company doing logistic stuff, and I handle patient scheduling at a medical clinic. We're not rich, but we're doing okay. Own our little house. Both have reliable cars. The whole suburban dream thing. On paper, Robert is exactly what every woman says she wants. He's faithful, responsible, pays his bills, doesn't gamble or drink too much, comes home every night. Sounds perfect, right? But here's what nobody tells you about the perfect husband: sometimes perfect can drive you absolutely insane in ways you never saw coming. When Robert and I first got together, I was head over heels for how attentive he was. He was constantly touching me, always had his hands on me, always telling me how beautiful and sexy I was. Every time I walked past him, he'd grab my butt or pull me in for a kiss. He'd whisper dirty things in my ear while I was trying to cook dinner. He made me feel like I was the hottest woman alive just for existing. At first, this was incredible. My friends were all jealous because their boyfriends barely noticed when they got dressed up. And here was Robert acting like I was some kind of supermodel just for wearing pajamas. He'd get turned on just from hugging me goodbye in the morning. He'd make comments about my body constantly, how good I looked in certain outfits, how much he wanted me, how he couldn't keep his hands off me. It was flattering and made me feel so desired and wanted. But somewhere around year 4 or 5, it started getting exhausting. Like really, really exhausting. I couldn't do anything without Robert making it sexual somehow. I couldn't hug him without feeling him get hard against me. I couldn't bend over to pick something up without him making some comment about my body. I couldn't even be sick with the flu without him still finding ways to touch me inappropriately. It was like he couldn't see me as anything other than a walking sex object. The breaking point was really building for months. I work in healthcare administration, which is honestly one of the most stressful jobs on the planet. I'm dealing with insurance companies, angry patients, doctors who think they're God, mountains of paperwork, constant deadlines, people literally crying in my office because they can't afford their medications. I come home mentally and emotionally drained, just wanting to exist as a human being for 5 minutes without being somebody's fantasy. But Robert would be there waiting, ready to pounce the second I walked through the door. Not in a sweet "how was your day, honey?" way, but in a "you look so hot" in that uniform way that made me want to scream. He never asked about my actual day. Never wanted to hear about the problems I was dealing with. Never offered to help with anything stressful in my life. But he sure as hell never missed an opportunity to comment on my appearance or grab some part of my body. I started dropping hints that maybe he could tone it down a little. When he'd make sexual comments, I'd change the subject or give him a look. When he'd